Yeah, it does.
So we should be live now. And let's see. Let me see the participants here. Okay, Jackie.
Okay.
Here we go.
Jane and Margie. Okay, good.
So we should be live now. Let's see, my face is being hidden by the wine. Hey everyone, this is Sheila from Vero, and today we have a fun event. As you can tell, there's a hat theme. You can see at the top of my hat, and so Vero goes around the world to find really interesting wines made by smaller producers, smaller artisanal producers. And where our website is verovinogusto.com. So I see some of you who are on the Zoom bought the wines that we'll be tasting today, but we'll I first want to introduce our special guests. So we have the Braschi Boys, that's Davide Castagnoli and Vincenzo Vernocchi. And they're diehard Romagnoli. So we're going to learn a lot about Romagna. Let me show, here we go. You should be able to see my screen with them.
Yeah.
Nice
picture.
And then we have Ruth Ryberg, who is a sommelier, has loads of wine accolades, and is a fantastic moderator for anything that has to do with wine. And you should all be wearing a hat because we have a hat contest at the end. Trying to let you see my hat. Yeah, so I guess we can start. I'll just have Ruth take it away.
Okay, I am so thankful to see everyone today. Jacqueline, I like your hat. I'm looking for some other people. What happened to Jane? Kate, come up and show your hat. So the hat theme is because today is the Kentucky Derby. Then that will run in about 3 hours, not quite. There's Jane's hat. She's got her, there's Kate's hat. She's got her feathers. Very nice. And I have my horses here. So the Kentucky Derby will run a little while. So we are having a pre-Derby tasting. So I thought we would have a hat contest. So I lost, Sheila, I lost Jane. So if you could keep an eye on her, I'm going to go ahead and start my interview. So we're going to taste some great wine today from Braschi. But first, before we do, if you want to pour a little and sip before we start, the first wine is going to be Famoso. But I'm going to help us introduce us to Romagna, because most people know Tuscany and Veneto, Piemonte, but not a lot of people know Romagna.
Well, this is what they're sharing.
This one is the first wine. So, but anyway, okay, we have Margie. Okay, there's Margie and Jane. I want to see your hats. There's your, oh wait, Jane, show your peacock feather.
Oh, that's.
There we go. There we go.
They're pheasant feathers from pheasants that I shot.
Wow.
Okay.
Strangle a peacock in the backyard.
So as a Somm, when you learn about Emilia Romagna, you learn about it as Emilia Romagna, and you learn that it is an area for Lambrusco, and that's pretty much where you start. There are many other grapes that grow there. Sangiovese is very, very widely planted. But I'm going to go back and forth between Davide and Vincenzo. So my first question is for Vincenzo. Why doesn't the world think of Sangiovese instead of Lambrusco when they think of Romagna? And this is our map.
I don't know. My personal opinion is that probably the bubbles are a little bit easier to spread out than Sangiovese. No, I'm just kidding. It's a very hard question to answer because we have the same story regarding Sangiovese like Tuscany because we shared a lot of way to grow the Sangiovese, way to make the Sangiovese in the last centuries with Tuscany too. Let's say that we have a different expression because of the territory, and maybe Tuscany have been is the people from Tuscany have been better to communicate and to produce and to sell this kind of wine. So
And
let's
I
say
noticed- oh, sorry,
it's an
go ahead.
it's an hidden treasure to discover.
The Romagna, yes, it is.
Yeah.
And if you look at the map, everyone, you can see the Veneto, or Venice area is to the north and Tuscany is to the south. So you have two ancient empires that fought for control over Italy for a long time. You have, that one was based out of Florence and one was based out of Venice. And so Emilia-Romagna is sort of in the middle. And so I'm wondering if that has something to do with it too, because the history books all talk about Tuscany and talk about the area around in the Veneto, but we don't hear a lot about the area of Romagna. So we just want to show a little bit of love to Romagna today. And in my research, I found 3 interesting facts that I didn't know. One is that Romagna is one of the wealthiest areas in Italy and actually in the whole world. Didn't know that. 2, it's the home of a lot of beautiful Renaissance and Romanesque architecture, which I would guess that, you think about Rome and Venice and Florence, but I didn't realize there was a lot of ancient architecture there as well. And then the La Dolce Vita director Federico Fellini was from there as well. So Davide, what are 3 other quick facts that you can share with us about Romagna that people might not know?
I'm sorry, could you repeat, please? I can understand your question.
Yes, so I'm wondering if you can share 3 other quick facts about Romagna that we probably don't know.
Yes, maybe we could be more famous because we have a lot of think about story and but maybe as Vincenzo told before, we worked bad. Our government worked bad in marketing because we have a lot of things to see and to do in our area. For example, we have a lot of history sites, but our area is not famous around the world. But I think we can have a more potentiality.
Yeah, let me just
Spira.
interrupt Davide. There's a funny story about the sign I'm
Mhm.
showing, but I live part-time in Italy and I was shopping in a store and then when I got home, I found this in my bag. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring to the United States. But it says carrots from Romagna. So it's a big agricultural area, but it's also really well known for wine, like Davide
Okay.
said.
Yeah, I think if I can add something, I think that the most important thing that the people have to know about Emilia Romagna, I generally speaking, because we are a very strong region, is our food culture and our hospitality culture. I think that this is the most important thing because we probably have the best lifestyle. We have the best lifestyle in Italy. Maybe
One of the best.
we have maybe you know a little less eye-catching landscapes like central Italy or southern Italy, but we have the people. we are very strong about the people. We have a lot of things to invent. We invented a lot of things. We are the food valley of Italy.
Yes.
We had a lot of genius, you know, even
I
yeah,
love,
really. I don't want to show myself too much proud about that, but really, it's a very important region in Europe.
well, I have a question for you, especially Vincenzo, because when we talked before, you mentioned that one of the popes was from the Braschi family. Can you just tell us about that real quick?
Yeah, because Cesena expressed three popes during the history, and one of them was Papa Pio VI, Braschi. There is a huge building in Piazza Navona that he built, and probably is from a branch of the family that owned the cellar that me and Davide bought in 2011. So this is a kind of important and strange heritage to to tell, but there
So
is.
in this picture, we see a date on this barrel that says 1968. So the winery has actually been in operation for over 70 years.
Yeah.
And it's located on the ancient pilgrimage road. So a lot of Catholics are familiar with the ancient pilgrimages that people would walk to find
Yeah.
special places in Europe or special relics. And this one is on the road that is called Via Romea Germanica, correct?
Correct,
Yes.
correct. But you have to know that Mercato Saraceno, that is the village where the cellar is exactly in the middle between the flatlands and the mountains. So it was a marketplace where the producer offered the production to the trader. That's why the name is Mercato Saraceno. Mercato in Italy is a market.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And the Braschi family, they founded it, right, Davide? They founded the winery. And what year did they found the winery?
Yes, they started to make wine about in the middle of 19th century, and because, as Vincenzo said, they come from the Pope family, and they were maybe one of the most rich family in the area, and they had a lot of real estates and the vineyard. For that, they started to make wine the beginning of 19th century, and then these pictures that we can see in the in the video, they started with to make wine just 100 years ago, and we bought the salary, and because the family they didn't have the
They
I'm
weren't
sorry.
able to go ahead. They weren't
Yes.
able to go ahead, and
Yes.
we decided to start this challenge, because definitely to make wine is a big challenge for everybody.
So Sheila, can you go to the next slide?
Sure.
And then show the slide of the modern winery. There you go.
Okay, this
So
is a picture of the barricaia, can I say in English, the barrel room, the barrel room.
The,
Yeah.
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 And these are big, what you say in French, these ones on the left, the foudre. What do you call
Yeah.
them in Italian?
Oh, but these are barrels made with Slavonian oak, the big barrel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is the
Trenches.
traditional way to age the wine in Italy. You know, now we are using many kind of containers. These are the traditional wooden container for wine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so everybody, if you haven't already, we're going to talk a little bit about this wonderful grape called Famoso. This is the
Yeah.
wine you have in your glass, everybody. It's a dry white, and it
Yeah.
was thought to be extinct. So I'm going to ask a couple questions about this. We're currently, let's see, I understand, Davide, that this was thought to be extinct. Can you tell us how and where it was found? So here's the original vineyard and it's on your property, but can you tell us how it was found?
Yes, this wine, this kind of wine is very important for our winery because the grape it was refounded by a Montalti family in Monte Sasso, in just near to our winery, and the family, Montalti family, they Vincenzo, can you help me please? They
Yeah. The
aiutami per piacere, Vincenzo.
Yeah, go ahead,
Elio
Vincenzo.
Monta Elio Montalti was a vineyard grower in our area. You have to think about that. In the last 60 years in Romagna and Emilia Romagna, generally speaking, the viticulture slowed down to the flatlands because of industries, because of the Emily Road, that is a Roman road that cross in the middle the region and helped the development of the region, helped a lot. So all the mountains, the highest hill part of the region became poor in vineyards. Okay, so this kind of grape, it seems that disappeared at all from the region because generally the growers grow this grape in the highest part of the hills and in the mountain. This person, Elio Montalti, literally saved the grape because he used to produce this grape at 400 meters, more or less, 400 meters above the sea level, for home using. He used to make sparkling wines by himself, and year after year, he started to think about which grape was it, because he didn't recognize it because it wasn't similar to Albana or to Trebbiano or to other grapes that are the people used to grow in the region. So he asked to Bologna University to make some researches, and they did DNA researches, ampelographic researches, and historical researches. So they found that was an autochthon grape that the people used to grow for both uses. I mean, table grape and wine, and to produce wine. And the story started that way. Then the growers and the breeders start to replicate the grape, and now the grapes are the vineyards of Famoso are grown in different areas of the region, and it's really a different wine. It produces a very different wine than the other whites of the region because it has this kind of semi-aromatic and fresh mouth that is very different than Trebbiano and Albana. And we started to crush the grapes of this yard since the beginning. So we actually are producing the Famoso that's from the vineyards that saved the grape in the region.
And make it from
Well, does everybody understand that? So they actually are producing wine from the vineyard that they found this grape that they thought was extinct. I think that's fascinating. I'd like to ask everybody to, chime in with comments. I see we have some special guests with you today. Sheila.
Yeah.
So, hi, you guys. How are you?
Hi.
So
Comments about the wine. I love the freshness and the zingy lemon acidity, but the mineral is what gets me. I just love this wine.
Yeah, I agree. The minerality is quite
Yeah.
distinct, and the terroir is apparent too. It's a very unique
Yeah.
flavor profile.
It's a typical soil of the Apennine Mountains, the soil where the vineyards are, because once you arrive in Mercato Saraceno, you can see at the picture.
Yeah.
In the mountain. Look at that's Monte Sasso, no? So you can find the arenaric soil.
So the soil is very rocky, and when I
Right.
first tasted this, if this was given to me in a blind tasting, not ever having heard of Famoso before I tasted this, I would have gone directly to Chablis, because it actually does have not just the zingy acidity and tart lemon, but it has that mineral component, almost chalky. And I know those hills are not chalk, but they definitely have a lot of limestone in them. You can see right there. So you get that soil in the wine for sure. Does anyone else have comments about this Famoso Famoso? I keep saying it wrong. It's Famoso before we go to another wine.
I can say something about that photograph I'm looking at. It reminds me of our own vineyards here in Ventura County. Same kind of mountainous structure, same kind of rolling hills.
Which place?
This is in Southern California, Ventura
Okay.
County, and we're
Oh,
right on the coast.
Oh,
Wow.
It looks very
interesting.
similar.
I have some
Interesting.
guests that are wearing hats here, and I wanted to see, they said that they got some pear, really nice pear and tart apple. I get lots of green apple, honeysuckle. So for anybody who's a wine geek, this wine is on its lees for a few months. I think Vincenzo said maybe 3 or 4 months on its lees. Those proposed yeast cells add complexity and sometimes the floral or honeysuckle notes you get from the yeast cells.
Yeah, we did a very easy way to make this wine. We just make a still tank fermentation at controlled temperature, and then the aging is in still tank on its own lees for 4 or 5 months, and then bottled.
Yeah, I think that you get that complexity. Anyway, I just love this wine. It's one of my favorites that Sheila
you.
actually sells. But I wondered if anyone else, does anyone have a question about it or a comment before we move on to the Albana?
well, I think we're gonna do the Sangiovese next.
Sorry,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, but I just want to say before we move to the next wine, which is a Sangiovese, and that's from a different part of Romagna. I just want to say that Braschi also has a Sangiovese that comes from Monte Sasso. So this is actually the Monte Sasso vineyard, their Sangiovese vineyard. But we decided to go with the this next one, which is from the another area of Romagna called Bertinoro for the next wine.
So this is the Sangiovese here.
Yeah.
I can't get close enough to the camera. There you go. So Il Costone. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give everybody a minute to pour. So Vincenzo, tell us about the elevation and how this vineyard differs from the last vineyard.
Yeah.
And the soil and how the soil differs from this vineyard to the one we just saw.
Yeah, the area is totally different than Mercato Saraceno. We you you have to know this, that in the past the area of Mercato Saraceno wasn't so considered as a quality area to produce the wine. So Braschi family decided to buy this vineyard in a different area that is closer to the sea, because here we are in Bertinoro, and we are in a totally different situation because we are 15 kilometers from the sea. The area is is warmer than Mercato Saraceno, and the soil has more clay, but there is a lot of calcareous soils.
Oh, yes.
And sands and sandy soils. We generally call this soil like spungone romagnolo. That is a typical soil of this area. This area gives a more Mediterranean style wine. So the ripening is very deep, and the tannins are very thick. So, and once we started to crush the grapes from the other vineyards in Mercato Saraceno, we noticed the huge differences between this area and the other area. So we decided to go ahead with the crew. So Costone is a single vineyard, and Montesasso is a single vineyard.
So when you say crew, this Il Costone, that's the crew, correct?
Yeah, right, correct. It's the name of the vineyard.
The name of the vineyard. Okay, and Montesasso is the other vineyard.
Equal, yeah, right.
So I have tasted both of them, and if this is a beautiful wine, I love this wine. I took this to a neighborhood get together when we were outside a couple months ago, and no one knew what it was. It was everyone's favorite, but the Montesasso that you make with the same grape, just for people's information, it's a little bit more fruit driven, and it's excellent, but it's more of a what I call a patio pounder or a porch pounder. This one is a little more complex. They're both excellent wines. They're just, that one is a little fruitier. This one has more earth and leather. And I wondered if anybody else had comments about this wine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What I can say is that for us, once we notice about these two big differences, we decided to keep share and then let the people choose whatever they like. I mean, especially during the wine tasting, it's very interesting to pour the wines into different glass and let the people feel the differences about the territory.
It's definitely obvious. And Montesasso is cooler.
Yeah,
and
right, definitely.
That makes a difference too. This gets more warmth and more sun, and it's yeah, it's a little more full bodied. So does anybody have comments? I'd love for some participants. Jane, I haven't heard from you. Where are you? I know you don't want to participate. That's too.
Well,
Yeah,
to
what
me,
do you
it's
guys
very,
think of these?
I think the red is very earthy. Yeah, to me it is.
So it, but you know what? I have this wine where I had it on my counter for like 3 or 4 days, and I just closed it up and sipped it the next day, and then closed it up and sipped it the next day. And because wine is a living thing, it changes. And that fruit, we just opened it. And so that fruit is going to wake up here in just a minute, and it will be there. It will be more prevalent.
As Sangiovese lovers, I would say to Margie that the earthy notes are the typical notes of 100% Sangiovese wine. If you find
I love
those,
the spice.
you probably are you have in the glass a true Sangiovese without any kind of blend and other grapes. And
I love the nose on this, and it's just starting to wake up a little bit. It has some tobacco and some tomato, what I call tomato stem, but it has some really pretty, almost like red rose petal, and there's some what I call cigar box. Does anybody understand what that means? It's just this
Sure.
really almost humidor like smell. I invite anyone else's comments that we have. Anybody else have any comments?
Bruce was saying it was spicy.
Yeah, I love the spice. I also love the tannin structure across the palate. I think it's very smooth.
we
Very
aged this wine for at least 16 months in the large cask you have seen it. And these vintages are fermented in a concrete tank.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out in Paso Robles who are doing many different big reds in concrete. And it,
yeah.
to me, it kind of holds the freshness. But my friend Kate had some comments that she wanted to add.
Oh, I just love the earthiness and especially the lingering, flavor, maybe tannins.
Yeah, and the grapey red, and yeah, it just has a nice finish.
Yeah.
The way it goes to your mouth and your tongue.
There you go.
How old are you?
Anyone else?
Yeah. How old are the vines?
Oh, these vines are between 20 and 25 years old.
And I have a question about Sangiovese in general. How much, if you know a percentage in Romagna, how much Sangiovese is planted there?
Oh, I don't know how many hectares.
What's the percentage? Like, are the vineyards like 60% Sangiovese? Are they?
It's more or less it has to be like 40% because the biggest part of the vineyards in Romagna are made by Trebbiano.
Oh, Trebbiano. Okay.
Yeah, because the flatlands have a lot of Trebbiano that is used for different purposes in the wine industry. And the Sangiovese is generally in the hillside. The hillside where Sangiovese is a very long part of the area because it's like 80 kilometers south to Bologna to the Rimini area. And since 2011, the consortium finally pushed the producer to use the subzones on the labels. And Costone from the 2011 vintage will have the name Bertinoro on the label. Bertinoro is the village where the vineyards are. And this will help us a lot to communicate the territory on the label. And we are using the subzones also in Montesasso Sangiovese. That will be now is San Vicinio, the subzone, and then in the next vintage will be Mercato Saraceno, finally. So it's a slow movement, but it's very important for the region because in 80 kilometers there are a bunch of different soils and huge differences in terms of climate and traditions to express better the complexity of our area, because it's very, very interesting to discover the different parts where Sangiovese is, the vineyards are.
And Vincenzo, can you say a couple of words about the Costone Riserva?
I love this wine.
Okay, we are doing Costone Riserva because actually the subzone of Bertinoro allow us to use Bertinoro in the label only in the Riserva version. So we decided to start to make Bertinoro without Riserva from 2019 because now the rules have changed, and now we are making the real cru from Bertinoro in based on our idea and taste and perspective about Sangiovese from Bertinoro.
Yeah, I
But
was just mentioning that because we also have available the Costone Sangiovese Riserva. It's,
Riserva, yeah, right.
2015. So for this tasting, I let's say I decided with Ruth to keep the price a little bit lower because the Superiore costs a little bit less than the Riserva. But we also have the Riserva, which is I want to say around $27. It's an older vintage. It's 2015.
Yeah.
And it's aged longer with a more careful selection of the grapes, right, Vincenzo?
Yeah, right. And it's 24 months in large cask and at least 6 months in a bottle. And I wanted to say that the 2015 is a very good vintage here in Romagna. Very good. The Sangiovese came up very interesting, beautiful vintage. Okay.
Should we move to the next
Yep.
one?
Yep, we're gonna go now to the Bianco Dolce, which is, can everybody see this? Campo Mamante, correct me if I'm saying this wrong. And there's a picture on the left of the Roman Empress Galla Placidia. And I'd like, Vincenzo, if you could share with us a little bit about the reason that her face is here and the connection that the winery has to her.
Oh, the legend said that she loved very much the Albana wine, and so the legend said that she wanted to say that the wine has to be drunk in a golden cup. So the name of Bertinoro, that is the place of the Albana in Romagna, it means like drink in gold. That's why there is a connection between Albana and Galla Placidia, that was the wife of the imperatore. I cannot say emperor.
Emperor.
Oh, there you go.
In Ravenna. Ravenna is was the eastern capital of the Roman Empire. Yeah.
We just wrote an article about Galla Placidia. So if you go to our website, you'll see the latest blog article is all about her. She was actually the acting Roman emperor for, I want to say, at least 10 years. She was pretty powerful.
The mausoleum in Ravenna is beautiful. Is something unmissable. Something of one of the best places in Italy to visit.
And where is that located, Vincenzo?
It's 30 kilometers from our area. Is a little bit closer to the sea, and there are a lot of Byzantine churches with the most famous mosaics in the world, probably.
Wow, I love mosaics. Fantastic.
Yeah. Something dreamy.
So So I want everybody to notice Bianco Dolce. Dolce means sweet, of course. So this is a
Yeah.
sweet wine. And the reason that we wanted to taste it is because it's not just for dessert. So I don't know if Davide, would you like to tell us what else you could pair with this wine at a meal instead of dessert? I know I like Asian food or spicy Asian food with a sweeter wine, but Davide, do you have any ideas?
Yes, I think Vincenzo is better to speak um, today because I am not in the right side. Vincenzo, aiutami, parla a te perché stasera sono un po' ascolto, ma
I
vai.
think that this version is very flexible. I mean, we are not doing Pasito wine, not a late harvest wine, but something that is fresher, but at the same time very drinkable. And if you wanted, the vinification is like that. We close the vinification once the sugar has the level that we wanted, and then with the cold temperature we stop the fermentation, so the wine remain naturally sweet. Albana has the characteristic of a very low pH and a very high acidity, so the sugar is balanced between these two characteristics, and then you can drink it with dry desserts, but you can also try it with seasoned cheese or I don't know, crustaceans or a different matching.
Strawberry, it's perfect with the strawberry right here.
All right, why
It's
not?
like a fruit, fresh fruit. It's really
Yeah.
good with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And strawberries now are very sweet, so and fresh, so you can match it and you can pair it
That's
very
really
well.
good. So, and most people have not heard of Albana. Again, Formosa was unfamiliar to me, and Albana is unfamiliar to me. And I know you make several styles with this grape. You make the sweet style, but what other styles do you make with this grape?
Oh, we do also a dry style, and we do also an amphora style. Actually, amphora probably will be back in the next vintage because
Yay!
we missed the last vintage, and because Albana is a very interesting grape because it's a grape that is perfect to make sparkling wines, dry white wine, sweet wine, and late harvest wine. So it has a different from the beginning of the ripening to the late moment of the ripening, gives you different possibilities.
I don't know about anybody else, but I don't drink a lot of sweet wine. But this is so good together. It will sneak up on you because I'm sure you can drink a lot of it. Anybody else have any comments on this wine?
We're having it with pate, and it's good.
Oh, nice. Good
That's
idea.
perfect. That would be
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Okay.
That contrast, it's really good. It's
Well,
very
then, you know,
balanced.
Nicely
they have
balanced
such
wine, yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. What did you say?
Nicely balanced wine.
Oh,
between the
Okay.
thanks.
sugar and acid.
And Kate, what do you think?
I like the sweetness and like somebody else said, it's very drinkable. It looks it's kind of.
So did they
pinkish
talk
to-
about the history of
How about
these
that?
grapes, like where they came from?
It has a pinkish tinge.
Yeah.
Oh, you have also to know that Albana has been the first DOCG wine in Italy.
Well,
So the very first.
oh,
The first denominated white wine.
Really? I didn't realize
Really?
that.
Yeah,
So
actually, the production is more or less about 1 million bottles in the whole region. So it's a niche wine, but a lot of producers are forcing themselves, and they are very focused on that. And now the people are drinking more Albana wine, so the production is growing up, and this is very good for the region. Very, very good.
So, Vincenzo, my friend Kate was wondering about the color.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it almost is a little pink or has a little bit of red tones in there. I just wondered if you could explain that. Is that all from the
Yeah.
skins?
The skins are full of tannins and colorant substances. Let's say that the Albana is a white, a red wine dressed like white. So if you do a macerated wine, you can have um, a body like a red wine. That's why you can find deep, the topazio notes. I don't know, can I say in English topazio, topazium.
What's the word?
The stone topazio.
Like
Oh, the
topaz.
topaz. Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's why you could find red notes.
Anybody else have any comments on this Dolce wines?
Yes.
The Albana grape is ancient. It's been around for centuries. But I wondered if anybody else has any comments on the wine.
Yes, Ruth, I do. A winemaking question here. Has this been macerated? Has this been any skin contact prior to pressing?
In this wine,
Yes.
no, we didn't.
Okay.
No, we the color is from the juice, because we pick the grape at the very good ripening point. So at that point the grapes are already very, very yellow, golden.
Yeah,
So
correct.
the color become the color comes up from that reason.
Okay, very good. You guys are doing good work.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else have comments on this? Who here is not a sweet wine drinker, but you would drink this?
Me.
Jane, look at that. I would recommend to everybody to get some spicy sushi and try this wine with some spicy
Oh, I will try it.
sushi. Yeah, but get the spicy one.
Or Thai food, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
I just have a couple more questions, Vincenzo. And it's actually about your production. So you have several grapes that you use to produce wine. You do the Famoso, the Albana, and the Sangiovese. What
Yeah.
other grapes are you actually using in your wine production?
We are actually using a little bit of Trebbiano to make a sparkling wine. That is a new sparkling wine that we are doing, and we are very focused on indigenous grapes. We are doing that.
What is your total production of all of your cases of wine together?
The cellar is producing actually more than 100,000 bottles.
Wow.
100,000, 110,000, more or less, at the moment.
Okay, so break this down for us. If you were to just tell me how much Famoso you make, how many cases?
Very few. We are this evening. For me, this evening, we are talking about the smallest production we do. Famoso is around 4,000 bottles.
Okay, and then
And Costone is about 10,000.
okay,
And Albana is about 2,000 bottles.
but now that's just the sweet, the Dolce.
Yeah,
2,000
right.
of the Dolce.
The dry version is more or less about 5,000 to 6,000 bottles per year.
Okay.
She's
Hi,
Olivia.
guys.
And
And you mentioned earlier
she's Bianca.
the Albana. There you go. You mentioned earlier the Albana in amphora. Is that a natural wine?
But let's say yes, definitely.
Okay. And what part of your production is organic?
We are actually producing uh, uh, more the 60% actually the production is organic, and we are trying to probably this will be the last year for the conversion, and we are probably become organic also for Monte Sasso area.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
that
Yeah.
that's
I
the
wonder,
way. That's definitely that's the way. Sorry, that's the way.
yeah.
Bianca.
Yeah, just to explain, when they have to do get the organic certification, it means they have to be organic for, what is it, 3 years prior?
Yeah,
Vincenzo?
right.
So
The thing regarding Monte Sasso is that and I think it's interesting to tell. We are talking about an area that lost the majority of the vineyards in the last 50 years. So it's something that is a side part of the region, like very forgotten. We put a spotlight on the area. So we work with different farmers in order to restart the production of the area. So we are working with also with other partners. So that's why the territory is not definitely organic. And I think it's a very nice thing, because other people are involved and other growers are involved, and the territory is growing up again.
it's like when you see this picture, this are some of these your neighbors?
No,
Vincenzo?
this is Bertinoro, and this is the vineyards where we produce directly.
Okay, because I know I speak with some producers whereby their neighbors, they're with vineyards may not be organic. So basically the producers have to collaborate together to be organic, right?
Right. But the wine for me is a matter of time in any in any way. So you have to be patient. You have to work in a good way. You have to talk with the people, and then the things moved. The things move.
And I didn't in properly introduce, let's say, my guest here, our guests, the guest with me. But this is Bruce Freeman and Gretel. They are vignerons, and they have a winery not far from my office here in Ventura. So their winery is called Clos d'Ami, and it's actually a French influence, because Bruce's mom is French.
That's the beret.
Wow.
So he came with a hat, which is great.
I had to borrow one.
I can appreciate your hard work for your organic efforts, because we are close. We are not certified, but we practice organic, farming techniques to a high degree, and it's so much work. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this vineyard. I should be out in mine right now, because it's springtime, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate your gallant efforts in keeping the environment healthy and your wines clean.
Thank you very much.
It's hard work, isn't it?
Yes, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
definitely. And in Italy, especially because of the paper that we have to fulfill.
Yeah. I don't
It is a very
appreciate any of that
annoying
at all.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
it's the same in the
appreciate
United
any-
States. The paper stack is like 2 inches thick to get
Yeah,
organic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At that point, I think in every part of the world, if the producer want to do in a proper way this kind of things.
So let's go to the fun part. Not that this wasn't fun, but we have a hat contest. And I'm gonna stop the share so that way we can all see each other. 'Cause
Wow.
I haven't seen Margie because I've been
Wow.
showing this slideshow. Margie and Fran, you can unmute yourself.
No, it's Jane.
Oh, Jane, that's right. Sorry. So Margie and
There we
Jane.
go. Jane.
Yes.
Yes.
And Jackie, I'm
Yeah, you
seeing
can't see her.
you.
Can't see her. Got
So
pretty
Jackie, you have to
colors.
unmute yourself. So Jackie is from Ojai,
Oh,
and her and her mom have a vineyard in Upper Ojai,
Oh, very good.
okay.
and they make
Wow.
dolcetto wine.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's actually great to introduce you.
Yeah, you guys are like right around the corner from us.
But
Where we live, where we
I
live.
think you can see your vineyards from our house. Like I was trying when I was writing one of the blog articles, I was looking at the map going, can I normally see that? I don't remember if I can see that part of South Mountain or not.
You're close to where we live, but not necessarily South Mountain where the
Well,
vineyards
she's
are.
high enough. She might. see
Okay.
that.
Yeah, she might.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're way
Or
up there,
She owns
huh?
the valley, right? Across the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I
next time
actually
You should see us out there working is what you should. Not today. Not right now.
yeah, and
And these
Jackie-
are pheasant feathers from a pheasant that either my husband or I shot. Doesn't everybody have a vase of feathers in their house? I have feathers at my house.
Peacocks.
Peacock.
I can't
We
see
have
your hat.
peacocks.
Can you come in a little closer? I can't see Margie's hat. Yeah,
Oh.
tip your head.
She has a really pretty scarf on. It's very pretty.
Oh, there you go. And mine has horse
But
hooves.
we just moved from Kentucky, so we're celebrating the Derby today.
Oh my
Derby
goodness!
Day.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
And when does it start?
Sombrero and the beret.
Oh, no.
Ruth, how many people do you have there?
4. So they've been patiently listening and tasting in the background.
Oh, well, at least they've been enjoying it, but it's
So
great.
I have to tell you real quick before we vote on our hats, the prizes are very good. This is the Wine People hat that I have. And I am going to give the winner of the hat contest a Wine People hat. And then the Braschi Boys have also donated something. Would you like to tell them, Sheila?
Yeah, so the Braschi Boys are offering the winner a free visit and tour of their estate winery
Ooh,
and tasting, of course,
We just
and
have to get-
lunch.
And lunch.
Right?
Wow.
And
wow.
So you have a good
Excellent.
excuse. We all have a good excuse to go to Romagna now, right?
Okay, let's book it. Let's book it.
Please come.
We've all been back.
At the
We're good.
There's a meal involved.
Well,
with
we've
the
talked
vineyard.
about that, about having Ruth run a trip for us for our
I'm
big
good.
tasting group that we do.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's an idea.
That'd be fun.
We are waiting for you. We are waiting for you.
We will like descend on David.
Paul and Al, you can't vote for me because I can't win. And then there's
Wow.
Kate, and you can vote for Sheila or any of her crew. And Margie and Jane and Jackie, Davide, and then Vincenzo has his hat too, but he probably doesn't want to win.
This is a wool beret.
That's pretty floppy,
Pass.
Vincenzo. Pretty floppy.
Yeah, right. Because
And-
this is perfect
And
for the
my
beach.
my
This is
hat
perfect
was
for the
made
beach.
by my hat was made by my friend Matt Sandschafer's daughter Cora,
Mhm.
and I'm hoping they're watching on Facebook Live. She just had like a softball game or something.
Sheila, you need to get closer. I can't really see.
Yeah,
it.
well, the problem is I have to.
Oh, it has an Italian flag on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's like the Leaning Tower of
Well, but
Pisa.
for
If I
Derby.
lean too much, it'll fall down.
It's very good for Italy. It's not so good for Derby.
Yeah, Margie has.
When does the Derby start?
It's not until
Almost 6 p.m. Central.
like 6:50 something.
6:57
Yeah.
Eastern.
We're
Yeah.
all on different time zones.
So do we have time to vote and get a winner?
Yeah, so put in the chat who
Yeah.
you'd like to vote for.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. Is that up there? Yeah. Okay. Oh, who are you gonna vote for, Margie? What'd you say?
You can just vote.
I'm gonna vote for your hat.
Oh, I'll vote for you.
I might say that we are all winners because it's the first time in my life that I wear a cap during a wine tasting.
Special and crazy hat.
So I have a little issue with my PC. I can't see the whole chat here. I don't know, Jackie, can you see what everyone's writing?
Yeah, looks like we have 3 votes so far. 1 for Ruth, 1 for Margie, and 1 for Jane.
And then Ruth, you wrote me something private, but this can be public. We
Okay.
want we want this out in the open so that way we get everyone. Ruth, did you put it in the public chat? I can't see.
Ruth, I don't see anything from you.
Yeah, she says, she wrote to me, Kate votes
You look
for
earlier.
Margie.
So I'll have to go to Italy.
Oh, Al votes for Jackie.
Jackie.
Well, that was the one with the pretty feather or the blue on it. Yeah. Paul votes for Jensen.
Okay, wait, one more time. Wool beret, my everyday beret. I have a dress beret at home too, but today I wore my everyday beret because, you know, we're working and, you know, it's just au natural, organic.
Paul says that he can use his at the end of the week for Cinco de Mayo, so it doubles as a Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, right.
I want you to see how hard it was for me to cut out these little horses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For Derby Day.
I'm not gonna give myself another hat, so don't vote for me.
Should have brought the peacock feathers. Would have really made.
Everybody's got one.
It would have. But we didn't know it was happening.
So, Jackie, are you able to see what everyone's voting?
Yeah, so
Can you
far
tally it up?
everyone has 1 vote except for Margie, who has 2 votes, it looks like.
Oh,
Margie.
Why Margie?
I'm just
So-
drinking.
So Margie, when are you heading to Romagna?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, when Ruth puts together the trip that goes to Italy for wine tasting, I'll invite Margie along. Yeah.
There we go. That would be fun.
I have to work on that. Italy is at the top of my list. I'm just waiting for all those
Yeah.
people.
We have to wait till things are calm, but yeah.
Next year, yeah, probably next year. Well, I just want to thank everybody again for participating. Jane, I'll make sure we get Margie's information from you through an email.
Yeah, you can get it to me and I'll get it to Margie. That's fine.
And I don't
We'll
have
figure
anything
it out.
but I thank you, Vincenzo and Davide. We appreciate your time. I know it's really late in Italy, so let's give them a round of applause.
We wait for
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you for your time
Yes.
and thank you for this opportunity.
Drink
Oh,
Braschi.
and then one last plug for those of you who may be watching, let's say live on Facebook, that we have a special going on for the Derby. So if you go to our website, verovinogusto.com, and put in Vero Derby, VERO Derby, when you check out, you'll get a 10% off through tomorrow.
Okay.
I have to buy some of this.
Ciao.
Mint juleps.
Okay.
See you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
all.
you.
Bye bye.
For your
everyone.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a
Ciao.
nice day.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
This is always a challenge, figuring out how to stop everything. Stop live.
Oh my
There we
gosh,
go.
wow.
See you, Jackie.
All right. Bye, Sheila. Have a good rest of your day.
All right.
Bye.
Did you sing
You
up there,
too.
Jackie?
Thank you.
You see you too.
So let's see. I have to figure out how to stop this. At least we're not live on Facebook anymore. Here we go.